Hi, welcome. Thanks for being here. Today's practice will be a little more repetitive to help really get out of the mind into the body. There will be opportunities to add some of your own movements to find really intuitive ways of being on the mat. But as always, this practice is invitational. So if something that I offer doesn't feel supportive for what you want or what you need, I invite you to please find alternatives, modifications, things that would better support you today. With that, we'll go ahead and get started in constructive rest pose. So making your way onto your back, taking your feet a little wider than your hips and letting your knees fall together in the center. Letting your hands fall wherever they want, maybe on the ground, on your belly or your heart. Once your body's comfortable, beginning to close down the eyes or soften the gaze. And then beginning to shift your awareness to about the size of whatever room you are in. Then draw your awareness in a little closer till about the size of your yoga mat. And then draw it in even further to about the size of your body. And keep drawing it further inwards until it lands on the breath. And simply noticing how the breath is in this moment. Not necessarily doing anything to fix it or adjust it, but simply noticing. And then maybe on your next inhale, seeing if you can send the breath 1 inch lower into the belly, filling up even more through the belly, the ribs, the heart. Everything expands in all directions. And as you exhale, letting everything soften in closer towards your mat. Big inhale, filling all the way up through the nose. And as you exhale, belly softens towards spine. And so continuing to deepen your breath on your own timing. Big inhales, big exhales. If Ujjayi pranayama is in your practice, you can begin to invite that in. And as we're here deepening the breath, maybe naming one thing for yourself that you can let go of for the next hour or so to be more present here. And then maybe setting an intention for yourself for this practice, a reason for showing up today. Something that will help anchor you to this moment, to the practice, Anytime your mind may begin to wander, really sealing that intention in over the next few breaths. Continuing with this nice deep breath, beginning to windshield wiper the knees to one side and then the other. Just inviting some gentle movement into the body. And the next time the knees come back through center, hugging the knees in towards the heart, giving a little rock from side to side. And then keeping right knee hugged in, lengthening left leg out long onto the mat. Maybe circling out the right ankle or right hip. Making sure to go both directions. And then we'll swap it out. Left knee hugs in, right leg extends long onto the mat. And again, option to circle ankle or knee, or hip rather. You might also feel some lengthening happen across the top of the right hip. And then hugging both knees back in with the inhale. With the exhale, we'll plant the feet about hip distance apart, knees point towards the sky, hands long on the mat. We'll move through a couple rounds of bridge. So really planting into the feet, imagining almost like you were to slide them under a rug. As you press into the feet, the tailbone begins to tilt upwards, hips lift off the ground, glutes and hamstrings are engaged. Pausing here at the top for one breath. Next exhale lowers you down one vertebrae at a time. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, planting into the feet, rolling up through the spine. Belly is slightly engaged here to help protect the low back. You can think about energetically drawing the heels in towards the glutes. You might feel a little more activation that way. Take one more inhale and exhale, rolling all the way down. We'll do two more. Inhale, rolling up. Pausing here. Next exhale, rolling down. We'll do one more. Inhale, rolling up. Once you get to the top, option to stay here or maybe lifting onto the toes. Continuing to breathe wherever you land. And again, next exhale, rolling all the way down onto the back. Hugging the knees in, giving a little rock side to side. And then taking that rock up and down the length of your spine, holding on behind the knees, rolling maybe 3 or 4 times. We'll make our way into a tabletop position. So coming onto hands and knees, wrists directly under the shoulders, knees directly under the hips, fingertips are spread nice and wide, collarbones are wide. We'll move through some rounds of cat and cow here. So inhale, the belly drops, the gaze lifts, the tailbone lifts. And exhale, really pressing through the palms, rounding out the spine. Inhale to cow. And exhale, spine rounds, gazing inwards. So you can continue to move through cat and cow here on your own breath, own time, maybe inviting any intuitive movement in. But what's most important here is continuing to let the breath be the guide. If you have sensitive wrists, now can be a nice time to flip the fingertips a few different directions. Be here for 3 more breaths. Next inhale, coming back to neutral tabletop. Spine is long, belly is turned on. We'll tuck the toes and then grounding into the hands and feet. We'll inhale the knees to a hover off of the mat. So just barely lifted, maybe 1 or 2 inches off the mat, firing up the core here. Shoulders stay rolled away from the ears. An option to stay here, or next inhale, extending the right leg out long behind. Hips stay square to the front. Heel is nice and flexed. 1 more inhale. Exhale, lowering down. An option to switch that out if you took that right side. Next inhale, left leg lifts out. Continuing to breathe and lowering back down. Take 1 round of cat and cow here. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, spine rounds. Coming back to neutral tabletop, we'll do that 1 more time. So grounding into the hands, tucking the toes, engaging the core. Inhale, lifts the knees to a hover. And again, option to stay here in this hold, or weight evenly in the hands. Inhaling, right leg off the ground, foot is super flexed here. Then lowering down, swapping sides. Inhale, left leg lifts. And then lowering back down. And slowly at the same time, lowering the knees. 1 round of cat and cow. Inhaling to cow, and exhale takes you to cat. Coming back to neutral tabletop, we'll walk the hands back in towards the knees, coming all the way up to standing on the knees. And then we'll take a big step forward with that right leg, coming into Anjali Asana. If you're practicing with blocks, you have the option to bring your hands onto the blocks, lifting the floor a little bit closer to you. Otherwise, fingertips on the mat, spine is nice and long. Here we'll floss the hips a few times, so inhaling, growing nice and tall through the crown of the head. And exhale, walking the fingertips back, Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Inhaling forward, and exhaling back. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Next, inhale, walking forward, bending back in through that right knee, and then walking right foot out to the right side of the mat, coming into more of a lizard. So both hands planted inside of that right foot. Option to stay here, or next inhale, right arm sweeps high and then back behind you. And again, you can stay here, or maybe begin to lift the left foot towards right fingertips, and maybe they connect. But continuing to spiral the heart towards the right side. Take one more breath here. And then slowly lowering back down, planting the hands. And then next inhale, right leg sweeps out, back and behind, coming into a one-legged tabletop. You might need to adjust your hands slightly. And then grounding through that right palm, we'll inhale, left arm out in front. And with the exhale, hugging knee to elbow. Twice more like that, inhaling out. Exhale, hug it in. Inhaling out, ribs stay hugged in. Exhale rather, hug everything in. I'm having a hard time with my words today. Inhaling back out. And exhale, lowering down, coming into tabletop. We'll take that same little sequence on the left side. So walking hands back in towards the knees. Then taking a big step forward with that left foot, coming into Anjali-asana. Again, hands can be on blocks here. Just allowing a little opening across the top of the right hip. Take one more inhale, grow nice and long through the spine, the crown of the head. And with the exhale, walking fingertips back, straightening through that left leg, Ardha Hanumanasana. Really plugging left hip back in line with the right. Inhale, bending back through that left knee. And exhale, half splits. Inhaling forward. Exhale it back. Next inhale, bending back through that left knee, and then walking left foot out to the left side, coming into lizard. Both hands planted inside the left foot. You can stay here, or next inhale, left arm sweeps high and back behind. Maybe lifting right toes towards left fingertips. Heart spirals towards the left side, and you're using the strength of the leg here rather than really using the strength of the arm to bring everything in. You're pressing through the legs as much as you're pressing through the arms. Take one more inhale, then exhale, everything lowers down, hands plant. Next inhale, left leg sweeps back. Again, walking the hands back so that they're underneath the shoulders, hips are square, ribs hugged in. And then extending right arm long in front, take an inhale here. Exhale, hug everything in. Twice more, inhale. And exhale, hug it in. Inhaling long. Exhale it in. Last time, inhale, everything lengthens. And exhale, planting it down. From here, walking the hands forward a step, we'll begin tucking the toes, lifting hips, lifting knees, Coming into our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you can keep a nice bend in your knees here, especially if this is the first down dog of your day. Fingertips are wide, really pressing through the space between the thumb and pointer finger to help take some weight and tension out of the wrists. We'll move through some variations of Sun A to continue building some heat, warming up the body. So next inhale, lifting onto the toes, gazing between the hands, making your way top of the mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Take a moment here. You can keep a nice bend in your knees if you want, maybe shaking your head yes and no. And grounding through all corners of the feet, rolling one vertebrae at a time, all the way up to standing. Arms sweep overhead at the top. And then exhaling, sinking the hips back, Utkatasana, chair pose. Most of the weight here is in the heels. You should be able to wiggle those toes off of the mat. Inhale, lifting up, exhale, little cactus of the arms, opening the heart. Inhale, arms up, exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana, hands to the thighs, shins or mat. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back, high plank. Take one breath here. The next inhale, shifting the weight over the wrists. Exhale, elbows hugging in. We'll lower all the way onto the belly. Untucking the toes. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Strength of the back body supports you here. Little to no weight in the hands. Lowering down. Tucking the toes, pressing through the hands, making our way back. Downward facing dog. One breath here to reset. Then next inhale, lifting onto the toes, making your way top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, spine long, lifting all the way into standing. Exhale, hips sink back to chair. Inhale, lifting up, and with the exhale, cactus the arms, shining the heart skyward. Inhale, lengthening the arms. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, stepping back, high plank. Inhale, shifting the weight forward. Exhale, lowering all the way onto the belly, untucking the toes. Inhale, Bhujangasana, elbows hugging back. Lowering down, tucking the toes, maybe lifting back through high plank into your downward facing dog. We'll do twice more like that, just picking up the pace slightly. So inhale, lifting onto the toes. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale all the way to standing. Exhale, hips sink back. Maybe going 1 inch lower. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, maybe hopping back, lowering onto the belly. Inhale, Bhujangasana, maybe lifting a little higher this time. Exhale, lowering down, planting through the hands, tucking the toes, making your way back, downward facing dog. Do one more time like that. Inhale, onto the toes. Exhale, top of the mat. Inhale, lengthening all the way to standing. Exhale, Utkatasana. Really sinking hips back. Ribs stay tucked in. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, arms skyward. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, planting the hands, stepping back. We'll lower halfway this time. Inhale, upward facing dog or Bhujangasana. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take a couple breaths here and start building our little sequence. And so you always have the option to add or take away from whatever I'm saying. If you want a more fiery practice, maybe adding in some more hops, maybe crow pose, handstand. If you want a maybe more restorative, laid back version, maybe opting out of a vinyasa or two. Planting evenly through the hands. Next inhale, right leg sweeps skyward, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Pause here, breathe. Circle out that hip or ankle. Inhale, three-legged dog, hips are square. Exhale, knee to nose, hug everything in. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, three-legged. Exhale, knee to nose, hold here for the inhale this time. Exhale, foot plants between the hands. Using the strength of the legs here, we'll inhale, arms up, exalted crescent. Right hand weightless on the left thigh, left arm skyward. Next inhale, both arms skyward, bending through that left knee to a hover. Inhaling back up, straightening through both legs, and with the exhale, modified pyramid, bowing forward. Right hip continues to plug back in line with the left. Inhale, thinking halfway lift with the upper body. Exhale, bending through that left knee and springing forward, top of the mat, knee to nose. Inhale, kicking back through that left heel. Modified warrior three. Again, hands can be on blocks here. And then we'll exhale, Shiva squat. Left knee taps right calf. Inhaling back out, modified warrior three. Exhale, left foot steps next to the right, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands plant, your Vinyasa. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. We'll take that on the left, so weight evenly in the hands. Next inhale, left leg skyward. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip, pause and breathe. Inhale, three-legged dog, hips are square. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, really cat-like with the back, hold for the inhale. Exhale, left foot plants between the hands. Really gathering the inner thighs and pelvic floor. We'll inhale, exalted crescent, arms cartwheel skywards. And pause here for the exhale. Inhale, both arms lengthen. Right knee hovers above the ground. Then straightening out through both legs. Exhale, modified pyramid. So that right heel can stay really lifted off the mat to give you more room in your hamstrings. Inhale, think halfway lift with the upper body. Exhale, bending through that right knee, springing forward, knee to nose. Inhale, modified warrior 3. Hips stay square towards the front, really kicking through that right heel. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, extending back out. Exhale, right foot by the left, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, your vinyasa. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. We'll take 2 breaths here and add on. Next inhale, 3-legged dog, right leg towards the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, hold for the inhale. Exhale, right foot plants. Inhale, arms up, exalted crescent. Both arms skyward, left knee hovers. Inhaling, back up, and with the exhale, modified pyramid. Inhale, halfway lift with the upper body. Exhale, bending through that left knee, springing forward, left knee to nose. Inhale, kicking back. Modified warrior 3, if you want to play with the balance, hands can come towards the heart. Take another inhale here, get nice and long. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, kicking back through warrior 3, and here's where we'll add on. So lifting all the way up to standing stork pose, left knee towards the heart. With the exhale, standing figure 4, left ankle crosses on top of right thigh, keeping that left foot flexed to protect the knee and ankle. Inhaling, back up, stork pose. With the exhale, circling left knee out and around, taking a big step back into a warrior 2. So here you might need to adjust your feet, hips, doing anything to fix your stance here. Then arms extend out long, shoulders away from the ears, energy through the fingertips. Take an inhale, reverse the warrior. And then coming back up through warrior 2 with the exhale. Inhale, right foot parallel with the left, facing the long edge of the mat. Arms extend skywards. With the exhale, coming into wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. We'll take a breath here, letting gravity help bring the crown of our head closer to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift with the upper body, walking the hands back towards the top of the mat, feet turn back towards the top of the mat. Stepping forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, option for your vinyasa. We'll all meet back in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And then we'll take that on the left. So inhale, left leg skyward, 3-legged dog.
Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, three-legged, hips are square. Exhale, knee to nose. Pause for the inhale. Exhale, left foot plants between the hands. Inhale, arms cartwheel up, exalted crescent. Pause for the exhale. Inhale, both arms skyward, right knee bends to a hover. Inhaling back up. With the exhale, modified pyramid. Inhale, halfway lift with the upper body. Exhale, bend the knee, springing forward, top of the mat, knee to nose. Inhale, kicking back through modified warrior three. Again, if you want to play with the balance a bit more, you can bring the hands towards the heart. Take another inhale here, really lengthening through the crown of the head all the way out through that right ankle. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, kicking back, warrior three. With the exhale, we'll lift all the way up into stork pose, right knee towards the heart. Take another inhale here. With the exhale, standing figure four, hips sink back. Inhale, stork pose. And with the exhale, we'll circle that right knee out and around, taking a big step back to warrior two. Again, adjusting your stance as needed. Finding your Mahavirabhadrasana. Next inhale, we'll reverse the warrior. Lifting back up through warrior two. Inhale, left foot parallels with the right, arms extend skyward. With the exhale, wide-legged forward fold. And again, find your breath here. Maybe coming back to that intention that you set at the beginning of this practice. Inhale, halfway lift with the upper body. Exhale, everything walks to the top of the mat. Stepping forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. And making your way back, downward facing dog. So we'll do this sequence 2 more times. I'll talk us through this next round again, and then the final round, after having these couple of rounds to get familiar with the movement, I'll continue to move through the sequence and just remove my voice, so giving you some time to tune into your body, to how it wants to move intuitively. This next round, though, I'll continue to use my voice and we'll move just a little bit quicker, breath to movement. So hands planted, left foot plants. Inhale, right leg skyward. Bending the knee, open the hip. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, hold for the inhale. Exhale, left or right foot plants. Inhale, exalted crescent, hold for the exhale. Inhale, both arms skyward, left knee bends to a hover. Inhale, straightening out through both legs. Exhale, modified pyramid. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left knee bends, springing forward. Inhale, warrior three. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, warrior three, and with the exhale, coming all the way up to standing stork pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, standing figure four, hips sink back. Inhale, stork pose, and with the exhale, left knee circles out and around, big step back, warrior two. Inhale, we'll reverse the warrior, coming back up with the exhale.
Inhale, paralleling both feet towards the long edge of the mat. And exhale, Prasarita Padottanasana. So we'll pause here. If you want to move through a headstand, you can go ahead and do so, maybe grabbing onto opposite ankles. Taking a couple breaths here. If you've lost your breath, maybe coming back to your intention. Next inhale, we'll halfway lift with the upper body. Everything walks back, top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, your Vinyasa. We'll take one breath here and move to the left. So inhale, left leg skyward, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, hold for the inhale. Exhale, left foot plants. Inhale, arms cartwheel skyward, exalted crescent, hold for the exhale. Inhale, both arms skyward, right knee hovers. Inhale, back up, both legs straighten. Exhale, modified pyramid. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, springboarding through that right knee, coming forward, knee to nose. Inhale, kicking back, warrior three. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, warrior three, and with the exhale, lifting all the way to standing, really grounding through that left foot. Next exhale, standing figure four. Inhale, coming back to stork pose, and with the exhale, right knee circles out and back. How softly can you step into this warrior two? Inhale, reverse the warrior. Coming back through warrior two at the exhale. Inhale, feet parallel. And making your way into your wide-legged forward fold. Again, you have the option, headstand, maybe grabbing on to the outer ankles, taking any little movements that you may need here. Next inhale, we'll halfway lift with the upper body, walking everything back, top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, your Vinyasa, or stepping back, downward facing dog. We'll take 2 breaths here. So again, we'll move through the sequence one more time. I'll continue to do the movements how we've been doing them. I'll remove my voice, giving you more space to tune in to how your body wants to move. Maybe you want to add movements, take away movements. Maybe you want to do a different sequence entirely. This time is yours. But we'll all start together with this inhale, 3-legged dog.
about halfway through. So whatever movement you've been doing, making sure that you're doing it on the left side as well. So finishing up here in the next 10 seconds or so, we'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Next inhale, we'll roll forward, high plank, and with the exhale, slowly lowering both knees at the same time. Untucking the toes, sitting back onto the heels, maybe closing down the eyes here, reconnecting with the breath, with your intention. Blinking the eyes open if they were closed. We'll come into a hip opener. So sitting on the sits bones. And then we'll kind of stack our legs like fire logs. So bending through that left knee, right foot is flexed, and then stacking it on top of kind of that meaty part of the left knee and thigh. If this is feeling really intense, you have an option if you want to move into half pigeon or maybe reclined figure 4. But I'll offer this hip variation. You can also sit onto a block if your right knee is lifted really high. But once you find your shape, growing nice and tall through the spine, and either staying here or maybe letting the heart fall forward, letting the head hang heavy, sending your breath to anywhere that might feel tight or tense. Slowly walking your hands back up.
Then lengthening legs in front, maybe shaking them out. Then we'll swap sides, so bending into that right knee, flexing left foot and stacking it on top of the right thigh. So both shins are kind of parallel, stacked on top of one another here. Growing really tall through the sits bones and the spine. And then maybe walking hands forward, letting the head and chest hang heavy, letting the spine round. Breathing wherever you land. And then slowly walking hands back up. And again, lengthening legs, giving them a little shake. If you took half pigeon or reclined figure 4, we will do one more seated position, so making your way onto your sits bones. We'll come into a seated forward fold Paschimottanasana, so legs extended long in front, maybe moving the flesh away from the sits bones. We'll inhale, growing nice and tall through the arms, and with the exhale, extending the heart forward and then letting it round. So as much as we're letting the heart drape towards the knees, we're also extending it towards the feet. Again, letting your head hang heavy. The feet can be relaxed. Inhale, walking the hands back up. With the exhale, we'll begin making our way onto our backs. So taking your time to lower all the way down. Knees hugging in, giving a little rock side to side, massaging up the low back. Extending arms out in a T or cactusing through the arms. We'll come into a gentle spinal twist. So letting both knees fall over towards the left side. Maybe taking your gaze to the right. Right shoulder blade stays heavy on the mat. Next inhale, knees come back through center, and with the exhale, knees fall towards the right, maybe taking gaze towards the left.
Next inhale, knees come back through center. With the exhale, hugging them in, little rock side to side. If you are ready to move into final Shavasana, you can go ahead and do so. If there are any final movements otherwise that you would like to take, you can go ahead and take them. Maybe happy baby, or moving through a couple more bridge like how we began this practice. Taking anything that your body wants or needs. And then when you're ready, extending legs out long, extending arms out long on either side. Once your body's comfortable, closing down the eyes or softening the gaze. And letting the body be completely supported by the ground beneath you. Reconnecting with your breath and maybe briefly returning to that intention you set at the beginning of practice. I encourage you to stay here in Shavasana and give yourself this gift of rest for as long as you would like or as long as you need. I thank you so much for practicing today, and I hope to practice with you again soon.